Hello friends, new and returning. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. My name is Elizabeth, and this is your Scorpio season reading. When I was shuffling the cards, this death card fell out of the Witch's Tarot, and I thought that was a really good sign that Scorpio really is going to be bringing in some transformation for us this year. But it feels like a very powerful kind, like it has, for some of us, this could mean, I think it's a shift in power dynamics. So like a shift from maybe people who already have power or who abuse power, losing their power, and then those who are, you know, maybe lower on the totem or who are less powerful but have the... What am I trying to say? It's like true masculinity replacing toxic masculinity, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm seeing here, or the message that I'm getting from the Witch's Tarot. I have a bunch of different oracle cards that I've shuffled. We're going to dig into it, see what's going on. But first, I'd like to call in your guides, my guides, any energies or entities that wish to be present with us here today, to deliver messages that align with our highest and greatest good for the betterment of ourselves and the collective. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Relax the shoulders. Come into a receptive state. So if you're joining me for the full reading, just relax. Sit back. Ooh, we have the Sun card. This is wonderful. And Temperance reversed. All right, so something's cooking, but it's not quite there yet with Temperance reversed. But we're starting to see the sunlight in Scorpio, which is a really interesting... I feel like the sun and death are a really interesting juxtaposition because it's suggesting that there will be... if you think of Scorpio as being deep in the ocean, when you see a light deep in the ocean, it's kind of strange, right? It would be strange to experience something like that, to see a light coming into the darkest places. This full moon in Scorpio season. So I feel like that is, what's the next one? Taurus. The full moon in Taurus is going to be a powerful one. It's going to turn things on its head. Marine life, richness. Really, really strong emotional energies here. Atoms, building. All right, some of you are going to be building really strong emotional connections. And the moon, darkness. Coming into the light from the dark is not always easy. It feels almost like when you get your, this is strange, but when you get your legs stuck to a chair and you have to peel yourself off, or if you've ever fallen asleep on a leather couch and you either get stuck to it or you wake up in a puddle of your own drool. I know this is going to sound really strange, but I think it's going to resonate for a lot of people because we know what that feels like. It's almost like I'm not afraid of you anymore. Like finding that deep emotional connection with yourself where you're not afraid to face it. And with the Atoms card here, it's almost like these lights all come on in Scorpio season. Like you think that you're navigating through the dark, and then all of a sudden you see people around you start to light up. Yeah, like from the darkness they will rise. Sunrises in their own right. This is an excellent time to scry. For some of you, you may want to work, if you work magic, you may want to work with your own tears. There's a movie. It traumatized me as a kid because the French kissing in it was awful. Crybaby, crybaby. Maybe that resonates with someone. I think that they save a jar of tears in that movie, something like that. There could be other themes that cross over or that relate. And magic. Wow, what a powerful time. Again, with the image of the ram or the goat. There is a lot of shifting in the collective masculine I'm getting here, particularly when it comes to emotion. So for those of you who identify as more masculine, or even just the masculine within you, is going to be opening up to, it's like an emotional awakening. Empowering almost the deep emotional side. Okay, I'm getting a story. Just a second. You will receive news from afar. And the siren, a temptation may lead you astray. Okay. All right, so what I'm getting here is that there's Leo, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Someone you may have been in contact with in Leo season, or someone who is a Leo, may be coming toward you during Scorpio season. This could also be an activity, or some sort of opportunity that was available to you in August that is now, or that you maybe haven't thought of, or that you walked away from. And I believe that you could really see yourself in this opportunity. You really saw like an opportunity for transformation. This may have been someone who came back and they said, or they seemed like they had transformed, or there was a shift in your perspective that started to, like, some of these lights started to flicker on. You started to realize you weren't alone, or you started to realize the path that you wanted to take. But it feels like maybe that was shut down, or that was closed off in some way. It looks like there may have been some kind of physical or health crisis for some of you that needed more attention, or that is somehow related to this. But it feels like this opportunity is actually coming back for you in Scorpio season. But there's also something here about it's almost like this, I'm so drawn to this middle card, the Adam's card. It's like you're navigating through, and you're seeing that all of these lights are coming on, and it's like you're dropping your defenses almost. Like maybe you're having more meaningful conversations, or you feel more supported, or something like that, and that or you can sense that you're starting to belong somewhere, or that you're onto something. And then there's this siren song from behind that's trying to pull you backwards. This actually reminds me of, in a different deck, I have an Orpheus and Eurydice card, and it did come up in the weekly energy reading. So if this is really resonating with you, you might want to check out the most recent energy check-in, because in that story, Orpheus looks back. He doesn't trust fully that Eurydice is there, and then she's lost forever. And it feels like something like that. It's almost like for some of you, you're on a really fine line here. You're on a fine line to go to where, to get to where you're going, and there's something that's really drawing you back. And with this magic card, it could be that someone is calling you back with magic, or that someone has a connection to you that feels very supernatural or very magical. With Temperance, it's like they, maybe you see yourself in them, or maybe this is something that you've discussed with them before, or they know about you, or you know about them, that you have this kind of supernatural or mystical connection, and it's really tugging on you. But there's a warning here, you know, with the siren leads you to crash, right? So it's like, this could be the thing that is really hard to separate yourself from, because you're kind of stuck to it, like you're adhered to it in a way, even if you haven't acknowledged it. Again, it's like something is telling you the way forward is the way back, but it's not through this song. It's not through whatever this is for you, this temptation, an opportunity that sounds really good. It may seem really promising, very tempting for sure. I'm just going to move these out of the way so I can pull some tarot cards and see if we can clarify and get some more messages. If this isn't resonating, you know, maybe something else will. We have the Five of Chalices. Okay, so this is going to be a time to heal some grief. Someone reveals themselves, and this is you may not have known that this person was a temptation, or this situation was a temptation, but I feel like you're seeing it with new eyes, or it's unmasked in some way, or you are unmasked in some way. And yeah, so for some of you, this feels like a mask comes off, or you are vulnerable, or you are open, and it is not treated respectfully. It's not treated in a way that honors how you're feeling, or that supports how you're feeling. And because you have this sun energy here, it's like it's very obvious that it's not being honored, that you're not being supported or seen in the right way, I want to say. The Six of Chalices reverse. This is about being stuck in the past. It feels like the past is pulling you back, but at the same time, you're meant to keep moving forward despite the tug. And it's not that you're avoiding it, it's that you've got to take it to where it needs to go. So if we look back at the boat, just imagine like tugging something along, and then finding the place to drop it or to leave it. So you have to carry it, and then you cut it free at a certain point when it gets to where it needs to go. For some of you, this has to do with childhood freedom or restrictions you experienced in childhood. Or it could be to do with your child and their freedom. A situation there's also the temptation to minimize what you're going through or minimize the threats of something, which is okay as long as you're acknowledging that this is actually something that you're going through, that this is actually something that can hurt, and your feelings are valid. It really feels like there's a lot more support for you, though, in Scorpio season. Like, if you need emotional support, it's there. Like, you're accessing your resources, perhaps. You may be seeking, or you may have help come to you. 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, this is about a channel of communication. A channel of communication between you and someone, again, someone or something that reflects you, a situation that reflects you. Something is stuck. It's stuck to you. It's stuck to you. These are the same messages that keep coming out. Okay, what else do they need to know? What else do they need to know? This vision card. 4 reverse. Time to come out of... Okay, so if some of you have been resting or stepping away from a fight, keeping yourself away from fighting or a confrontation, avoiding perhaps, it's time to see yourself actually confronting this situation. Moving into the conflict rather than staying out of it. Yeah, because it's actually going to start, like, it's almost like you needed a period of healing. So maybe this is that period between Leo season in August and now where you needed that time to heal, but it's going to create a burden. So this is like if you're still isolating, if you're still avoiding beyond this point or in Scorpio season, it's going to create more problems than it will heal. So what is... Okay, and this has a destabilizing effect. Again, with the child, this seems like something you feel very protective of as well. You may be protective of this situation, the siren energy. A boldly dynamic personality that feels very innocent and like you have to shelter or protect them. The 8 of Cups reversed. Yeah, because it's something that you moved away from you or that you moved away from is coming back. Is coming back in Scorpio season. Okay? And it looks like the advice is to remember what you've learned in the last few months. Let's get some clarifiers. What else? What do we need to know about the... What do we need to know? What other messages are there for my viewers for Scorpio season? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. A stroke of bad luck or feeling stuck, feeling like something has power over you. Something has power over your fortune, or Ten of Coins, or over your future. Okay, this is a very specific message for those of you who are trying to build a business or trying to build, for some of you, you might actually call it an empire. It feels like this is, during this period, the wheel is not turning, okay? The wheel of fortune is not turning. So it may seem like a lot of bad luck this month in your business or in your livelihood. This could also be about building a home. There could be difficulty when it comes to the contractor, I feel like, or something like complications arise when it comes to the safety of an investment. I'm hearing that you need to navigate this time with your eyes closed. So navigate with your intuition and really pay attention to the emotional reactions you have to things. This could feel like you're shut out of, some of you may be shut out of an inheritance or shut out of an investment, but this is actually or you may opt out of it because you sense that something is off. Okay, a couple of cards came out. There is, there's that Leo energy again. She's taking something out of the mouth. It makes me think of, or putting something in. Taking something out and putting something in. It's the perception of the situation, right? So are you being taken from or are you being fed? And those two things may be very hard to discern at this time. With the Page of Coins reversed, it feels like a younger energy, maybe taking a lot of your resources, or maybe at the helm of a certain situation that involves your resources or involves your family, and that needs to be addressed. This Page of Coins needs to be addressed before anything can move forward. There's a climate change that's happening in your life. So this is for the collective, but generally there's this shift in the climate of our lives. The way that we exist in time and space is actually shifting. It's almost like a remodeling. Triple spiral. Listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Joyfully being the key word here. Yeah, I mean, this has been kind of a heavy reading, right? So let's, the blessings are that the vision that you have is present. The end of this cycle, these lights turning on, this feeling of belonging. But this feeling of belonging is not coming from this situation that you feel you've been shut out of. So whatever inheritance or business situation it was, that's not why these lights are turning on, is the message. Wishes come true. Oh, that's amazing. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. I'm going to clarify these as well. And then we're going to dig into some love messages. Okay, what else for my viewers, please? Tree of Life. So it says true wisdom and making good choices in life. what distinguishes this time from any other time? So if this is for some of you a repetition of something that feels like it's from the past, the question is, what is different about this time? And for some of you, it's about embracing joy or having a sense of humor about what is happening. This is like, okay, I have a perfect example. Today I had a hard day. I went for a walk to get a coffee because I was like, leave your house. Find something better than this mood. And I went for a walk and I arrived at the place, blue skies everywhere, and I was rained on, hailed on. And there was one single dark cloud and it was over my head. And it was like this moment of the universe being like, look at you, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're, like to have a laugh about it and to have a laugh about like how moody we can get and how we can get stuck in those places and not really see that there's still hope and there's still promise yet. We're not doomed to some tragic fate in this moment. That there's more to it than that, I guess is what I want to say. Okay, let's clarify the triple spiral, please. Triple spiral, we have the Queen of Swords. Whoosh. Even though Scorpio is full of emotion, this feels like very clear incisions is what I'm hearing. Incisions. It's like making the right cuts, but making them very, very precisely. And very precisely in the right place, almost like surgery, rather than, like chopping something off with a hacksaw or something. Sometimes when we're trying to cut things out of our lives or make those kinds of moves, we do it very haphazardly. It's like, I just want to like you chew the cord almost or something like that. But this feels very concise, and it feels like it's supported by either literature, so like a lot of research in some way, or it's supported by a kind of legal institution, or it's supported by evidence is what I want to say. It's supported, it tracks, like you could take it to the bank kind of thing. And then the High Priestess, with that intuitive energy coming in strong. Such an amazing time to sit with your visions. This feels like a time that's going to be, for those of you who are visual, you may see a lot of auras, or you may have a lot of visions, or be seeing things out of the corner of your eye and just kind of picking things up in that way. Again, with the book in her lap, it feels like things are going to come through. If this resonates for you through books, if you are someone who scries by reading, if you're not, it could be actually physically holding a book and like feeling and absorbing the knowledge in that way, or the energy of a book. But something about this feels like learning. It feels like you're going to, for some of you, the wish come true may be that you're going back to school, or that something has come through, like your poem or your story or something's being published. I feel like there's a lovely seated energy here in Scorpio season, where you're really seated on your throne, in your power, despite any emotional goings-ons. And the Chariot came out reversed. But it's not feeling like anything's moving. It kind of feels like you're being torn in different directions. Like I said, with the being pulled back and forward at the same time. And then the 8 of Pentacles fell out. So for some of you, you're definitely going to be training for a new profession or training for something new or creating something new when it comes to work or your family life. So this could be, you know, for maybe you're disinherited or you're separating from your family in some way, and then you find out that you're pregnant or your partner's pregnant, and then it's sort of like, okay, I understand, like I'm being called into my new family, and it helps you to make that clean, precise cut. That's not for all of you, but we're going to clarify the Queen of Swords. With the Queen of Cups, wow, what a balance. The mind and the heart. And I always think of her as being kind of like, she looks almost pregnant, but she's holding this cup up and she's like, no, you don't get to see what's in my heart. No, you don't get access to that. So for those of you who know what I'm talking about there, you're going to be holding your heart up high. And though things may be turbulent, for some of you, maybe that's been people have manipulated you in that way or made you feel like emotionally, you know, there's something wrong with you, or they use that to their advantage. And this is kind of like, nope, you don't get access to my emotions. And the Star. Okay, the message here is to continue to, like, see how she's dumping out this water, and then there's just, I feel like it just keeps filling up with water. So if you feel like you've released something or you've let something go and then more is coming back, it may almost feel relentless. It may feel like you are, like, this emotional stuff is going to feel relentless. The challenges of it, but don't lose hope. This is, it's character building is what I want to say. I know that doesn't, who likes that? No one wants that. Ooh, and we have the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, I feel like, okay, so someone may come into your life and be like, hey, I really like you, or hey, I love you, or I admire you from afar, and then just kind of disappear again. Like, it's not really going anywhere. It's not really, like, it just kind of stops there. And it's because that person is not really ready to follow through on that. So this could even be a friend or someone who is coming in with an apology, or who has been, they've been gone from your life for some time, and you may catch like a bit of them during this time, but then they disappear again. And the 8 of Pentacles, clarified by the 8 of Cups, reversed. Someone's coming back. Someone's coming back and they want you to be alone. And they see you as their soulmates. They see you as a person that they want to build a family with or create something with. Or this, you know, if this is a business, it could be someone who really feels like they energetically resonate with you and they want to create something business-wise with you. And so they are, they're coming back and they don't want to take no for an answer. This person. So let's get some more love cards and see what else is going on here. All right, so love life for my viewers, please. Wow, the Lovers. You may have some choices in Scorpio season if you're single. If you're not, there could be a temptation or someone from the past. It may not even be a temptation. It may be that you're thinking about an ex or reflecting on a situation with an ex. This really feels like or for some of you, this is about seeing yourself in two different ways and wondering if both aspects of yourself fit with a potential partner. But this is definitely a strong indicator for, you know, there being a soulmate at least present in your life. The King of Swords. The King of Swords coming out next to the Queen of Swords. You know, this King of Swords could be instrumental in helping you to make this cut. Like I said, there's something about creating a new situation so the old situation doesn't have the same kind of power over you. The King of Swords is looking for a change, and is looking for someone who they can be vulnerable with, who they can put down their sword with. And this could be you, or this could be someone else. But it really feels like, or you may be identifying, you know, if you're in a relationship, this is about laying down the swords with each other and rediscovering the vulnerabilities. So maybe you've gotten caught up in thinking too much or analyzing things too much and haven't really had that emotional connection for a while. So what is it that makes you connect emotionally? And the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles again. This is kind of like longing at someone's window, or feeling like this could be that you're pining after someone, or someone is pining after you, and they're listening to music that makes them think of you, or they are wondering if they've idealized you or made things up in their head, or there's a kind of fantasy element to this, or an unrequited love element to this that feels kind of a little bit sad, because this person isn't coming forward, or you're not coming forward. Again, remember, this is a general reading, so take the messages that speak to you. Seven of Wands. Yeah, okay. So in this scenario, it's almost like this person or you don't feel safe about the situation yet, or you don't feel comfortable about the situation yet. You're not sure where you stand with someone, perhaps, or someone's not sure where they stand with you, and it's creating some hesitation. But someone's feeling safer in their head, and they just kind of want to play out the fantasies in their head. It could be that, you know, not wanting to know whether you can accept both sides of them, or different sides of them. Maybe this person withheld certain parts of themselves. This is for couples as well. Maybe you've been withholding something. And the Four of Swords. We have the Four of Swords again, but this time, okay. There may have been a conflict with this person because they didn't want to show you who they were, or they were afraid to reveal something about themselves. Maybe it was to do with their physical preferences as well. Like it could be to do with their desires. That maybe there's this card really comes forward as shame to me, and then someone being really turned off by that shame, or being really off-put by the other person. Or someone was trying to control you or put their views on you, or this could be you. But it was all because of this two-sidedness. I don't feel like this is a choice between two people. I feel like it's someone who has two sides to them. So it could be this King of Swords who is very much in their head, but very, very much longing to put down their sword and to feel with someone and to be very connected to someone emotionally, and really longs for that and has this narrative in their head, but they're still defensive. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a situation that has been a long time unfolding. You may have known this person for a long time. They're slow moving. So while they are a King of Swords, while they've mastered their intellect, while they've mastered the mind, they're still not where they want to be materially. They don't feel that they have enough to offer you, or this could be you, not feeling like you have enough to offer them. And this could be part of the... I feel like this is more like their underlying values. So this would occur whether there was a conflict or not. That this could have been part of the conflict, is like how slow moving this person is. Also with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like this energy rarely makes itself obvious. So if the Knight of Pentacles is pursuing you, you don't know he's doing that. It just kind of seems like someone that's like riding along slowly next to you, and you're like, can I help you? Like, do you need something? So this may be someone that's not very obvious about their feelings, but that really cares about you. The Knight of Pentacles also builds a very strong foundation for what they end up pursuing, because they take their time to do it. So you can trust that they've had their sights set on you, and you're attracted to them, and it's going to be a really strong connection, very sensual connection. And the Eight of Chalices, again, this is, maybe this person has been in and out of your life and you're just not sure, or they're not sure. You've been in and out of theirs, and it's like on again, off again. And it's a lot to do with what's going on in your heads. So you may be very well matched in that way, that you're both kind of, you get in your head and you just like, I'm getting like romanticism. Like it's almost like your romanticism makes it difficult. And strength, again, strength. Okay, strength. You're very well matched, you and this person. And if for those of you who are in a couple and you don't resonate with the single messages, this is the Eight of Cups is like, you can be on again, off again with someone that you live with. You can be in, like, I'm emotionally in, I'm emotionally out, like not really feeling very safe. And I feel like this is someone that you've actually like very much defended yourself against. Like you maybe, or they came at, it's like you guys come at each other with the full force of your defense. But I'm almost getting like a bit of respect for each other in that way. It's like, if you could turn that energy around, it could make for, it makes for a very sensual, physical connection. But there's a fear that maybe one or both of you will be overpowered. I think this King of Swords is not eager to give up their power, again, because they're wanting something where they can be vulnerable. All right, so I'm going to get some, these are Amor e Psyche. Yeah, they're love cards anyway. We'll see if they have any messages for us to give us more clarity on the love situation. I was going to say my readers. You're not my readers. You're my audience. Love's Embrace. Number 20. Okay, someone in this connection comes off as aloof, someone comes off as clingy, but I feel like this may switch. Or this is the fear of the King of Swords, is that they will come off as clingy when it's like something is cooking in the background. Something is brewing in the background, but neither one of you trusts it. Like, if you are switching back and forth between clingy and aloof, or chaser, runner, that kind of thing, and again, please, keep in mind when I say chaser and runner, I'm not talking about toxic connections and trauma bonding, okay? I'm talking about like, two people who maybe are flawed but are doing their best and are committed to growing, okay? But it feels like maybe if you've been with this person before, if you are in a relationship with them, there's this kind of like, one person shuts down and then the other person gets clingy, and then you know, and maybe it switches, but in the background, there's always love. Like, there's always love in this connection. Erotic bliss. Interesting. So that's what I was picking up on here. It's almost like one or both of you is afraid to fully surrender to the other in this way. Almost like maybe there's someone in this connection, maybe it's the King of Swords, who really wants to be dominant but is afraid to assert that. Sometimes that can happen. You want to be respectful of people's boundaries, and so it's, you know, being that respectful person, feeling afraid to even broach the topic or to let that side of yourself out. But just know that you can, you know, you can have that kind of relationship and not harm someone. Like, it's playing with the energies of power, but it's not about power. And I see that that's a really strong desire for you guys. And then standing alone. Okay. This is a hermit energy. This is like, everything I want is so far away. Sorry. This is what I was talking about with the humor. It's kind of like, if this is your energy, you know, during this season, I feel like maybe owning up to some of your baser desires and owning up to what's making you afraid, or just being able to see this. And maybe you do take this time to kind of be alone and separate yourself off and reflect. And then you come back in Sagittarius season. You know, there is that temperance reverse. So it could be that this connection is not ready to move forward until Sagittarius, or you'll have different or better information by then. So that's something to just be aware of. And either way, this is really about, there's a self-integration that's needed, okay, for either partner. 2 cards fell out. We have the card of protection. It says, conserve what you have, save a little. That's what I'm getting here as well. Conserve what you have, save a little. So rather than trying to, like, if you feel the impulse to cling onto someone, maybe just like letting that go, it's going to take up too much energy for you. And security. Choose the safe harbor for now. Interesting. So maybe some more time observing or having the right conversations will help. Although I don't see much about conversations here. It's more about the emotions, getting the emotions in check. You know, what are your base desires and why are you afraid of them? And why are you trying to fight yourself? Or what kind of courage do you need to come forward to the person that you care about or love? Or, you know, standing up to the person who doesn't accept those different parts of yourself, who makes you feel like you are undesirable in some way. Oh my gosh, Moth Orchid, communication. Listen and speak with greater care. So if there is communication between you and another person, or in any of these situations, just be very careful and definitely listen. Tune in. Tune in the way that you would if you were alone and you were trying to tune into the sounds, like not just the sounds, non-verbal cues. So you may want to choose speaking over the phone instead of texting, or speaking in person rather than texting. And if you have no other option, at least doing video chat so that you can see those other cues, those other messages that come, the other forms of communication. And we have golden calcite, inspiration. I am inspired in all that I do. I'm inspired in all that I do. That's beautiful. that is also a really good cue for if you are unsure of whether to move forward with something, or, you know, are you inspired? Is it exciting you? Is it making you feel like you want to do it, you know, without it being this siren call. So being aware of the difference. And soul awakening, I am awakening to the true essence, and I am a full expression of my soul's vibration. Okay. Yeah, things taking root, really, emotionally. Like, you are accepting different aspects of yourself, your baser desires, or your true longings. And passion, I am the embodiment of passion. Red Tourmaline. Remember that climbing the highest mountain can mean the highest drop. Something that you may put a lot of work into. You may have lost the passion a while ago. Drop into your heart, drop into your feelings, and see if it's still in alignment for you. See if... I just want to pull one more card. I'm going to clarify that. Ooh. All of my tarot cards are falling around, falling down. Ooh, this one came out. The stars. A long journey brings rewards. Passion. A long journey brings rewards. Transformation. We end where we began with the Scorpio card. So again, this is transformation. This is a time when your stars are aligning. They may not be fully aligned yet, or things may not come into fruition during Scorpio, but your emotions are getting aligned with it. That's what it feels like. All right, so that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining. If you'd like to book a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. If you like, comment, share, subscribe, that is going to help me tremendously, so I can build this channel and keep making videos for you. So all my love to you guys. Bye.